Welcome to NBC News Daily. We're going to start with increased scrutiny for Boeing amid issues with its 737 MAX 9 model. Now, the head of the Federal Aviation Administration announced the agency will boost oversight of the aerospace company, telling CNBC they believe there are other manufacturing problems. Now, last week, a panel blew out of an Alaska Airlines plane mid-flight while it was 16,000 feet in the air. This was the latest in a series of events that have shaken confidence in Boeing. NBC News senior correspondent Tom Costello joins us now from the D.C. Bureau. Now, Tom, what exactly are the steps the FAA is now taking to ensure Boeing is putting out planes that are safe, well-made, properly constructed?
Investigation from the NTSB, which is looking into the actual events of this accident that happened a week ago when that door plug blew out of the side of that Alaska Airlines MAX 9. This is now the FAA saying we are investigating Boeing and also its practices. But the news this morning, as you mentioned, is that the FAA is now looking at do a complete overhaul of how the FAA tries to watch the production process at Boeing, the inspections at Boeing during the assembly of a plane. Listen to the FAA chief this morning on CNBC.
So this is a brand new aircraft. It has just come off the line and it had significant problems. And we believe there are other manufacturing problems as well. So this is all about finding where the risks are, identifying the risks and mitigating them.
Bottom line here is the FAA suggesting there may be more problems at Boeing. And keep in mind the context here. This comes 5 years after those two MAX 8 crashes overseas killed 346 people. Here's what the FAA said about its investigation into Boeing and the practices at Boeing. The statement is as follows. The FAA says it is, in fact, auditing the MAX 9 production line, increasing monitoring of the MAX 9, and also looking at exactly whether the planes it assembles are being assembled properly and safely. Here's what Boeing says. Boeing is coming out saying that they will, in fact, cooperate transparently with the FAA and the NTSB in terms of both of their ongoing investigations. Vicki?
You know, Tom, I know that you have reported in the past the FAA workplace inspections are being led by Boeing employees. So how effective is that system in working with the FAA? Will these oversight measures ultimately improve accountability?
You know, the problem here is that the FAA is responsible for oversight, and they've got a massive manufacturing operation with Boeing. The FAA doesn't employ enough people to put inspectors, government inspectors, on every assembly line through the entire chain. They simply don't, and Congress hasn't given them the money to do that. So as a result, the FAA came up with this plan, Congress agreed, by which you would have Boeing employees inspecting Boeing work on behalf of the FAA. Arguably, that's the fox guarding the hen house here, but they were supposed to do a good job of keeping that production line up to standards. And now you've had these crashes with the MAX 8, and now you've got the MAX 9, and the FAA is saying this doesn't seem to be working. And so maybe we now need a third party to come in and watch exactly what happens at Boeing's assembly plants. This is really the FAA taking this to the next level.
All right. NBC News senior correspondent Tom Costello. Thank you so much, Tom.
You bet.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.